today's August 21st. Today is supposed to be the big update that you told us about a month ago. And the update is there's no update.
That is the update. The update is all mentions of the update have been scrubbed from Hivemapper social media. August 21st. You can't find anything
Democrats?
that says August 21st is the day we're going to talk about stuff. So the last big email or the last big tweet was the one that we're going off of, which is they said they've decided to add some new features to the B, which does update their shipping schedule. And so
it's in our best interest is what you're saying.
It probably is. You know, it's like we were talking, you can be patient or you could be impatient. And in the crypto world, population tends to be impatient. But this devil's advocate, the Hivemapper company, is not trying to be a crypto company. They're trying to be a mapping company that does the right thing for the company that pays out in crypto. You know what I mean? So there is a difference in that. This is not a coin that runs on hype and, you know, it's like this, all we have is the attention. They've got a viable product and they've got great stuff that they're doing. So
and paying clientels, as they've mentioned, they've added the third of the top 10 mapping companies.
Yep. They had 2, and then they said make that 3. So
that are buying the product.
Yeah. So it's not a coin that's a community coin. You know what I mean? It's not just who's into it at this point. There's a product and there's a sellable item behind all of this. So they have to do what's best. I don't know. I don't feel like they rushed out the HDC, but clearly they did, because there are a lot of flaws with the original HDC. And they're just determined not to let that happen with the Hivemapper B.
That's the first time that you've kind of, and maybe not the first time, but you've said flat out that I recall at least, that there's problems with the HDC. Is that because you own so many of them now that you're
I have noticed?
Because I noticed little things, but I wouldn't say it's, you know.
I would notice, there are obvious flaws that take place with all of them. And I guess I say they're flaws. One of the flaws is it requires a very strong GPS signal to even record, and taking pictures, uploading pictures, offloading pictures, all draw power away from they have a very small GPS signal, whatever goes onto a circuit board. So anytime that you're uploading or offloading, it's sometimes pulling that power from the GPS. You lose signal, so you're not recording anything at that time.
Which is why you told me when I first got it, don't
offload and upload after recording hours.
Yeah. And
you can see when you go back and look in your map, even if you're not offloading and uploading, you can see when you lose GPS, because your dotted line goes ... you know, and it looks like a checkered board all over the city. They're not solid lines, because that weak GPS signal, it just loses it a lot of times while you're driving. And that depends, you know, if your car has not a super strong, you know, if anything's pulling. My older brother had a splitter to charge his cell phone and to run his HDC. And anytime his cell phone was low, he said it felt like it was drawing more power. And so the HDC was losing the middle light, you know, bleeping out like that. So that's just the GPS. They've fixed that. That's one of the first things they talked about with the Hivemapper B was a much stronger, I don't remember if it was like military grade or, you know, whatever there's something else that makes it the next level. They decided to go ahead and spend the money and get that good GPS signal, because without an accurate GPS signal, this mapping, what they're going for, it's really, they don't need pictures of random stop signs. They need to know as closely as possible. Bye-bye, Russia! Where that stop sign is. So that's one of the things they've updated. But there's also just a ton of, they're very fickle. The lights don't always work. The GPS doesn't connect. It doesn't record. Plus the processor Now they're doing a lot of at the camera processing. They call it, the edging or whatever, where they're determining what they need before they send it into the cloud. And this thing's not really built to compute. So if it seems like it's taken a lot longer to offload pictures,
it is.
and that's just because
It's
they're
edging.
doing a lot more. Yeah, they're doing a lot more at the camera instead of paying for it once it's in the cloud, and it just struggles. So they're putting more power into the B. They're learning about the HDC as they're building.
Hey, I did pretty good. Hey, 30-29 on my second game with controller. I'm doing pretty good, no?
Now that they have thousands and thousands and thousands of HDCs out there, they're starting to see the patterns, where it's failing, where it's strong, what people like, what people don't like. So
Growing pains.
while they're getting that information, they're actively building the B. So if they found something, or the way that tweet read was that they were upgrading fleet services. So
Yes.
people who have fleets, they found something that would make that. And I mean, that's the name of the game. That's who's going to be submitting a lot of the data is people with multiple cameras. So unfortunately, in this situation, there's nothing you can do or I can do. I mean, no amount of, I'm going to cancel my camera, whatever. I guess cancel it, because the amount of tokens doled out every week are split among people who are using the cameras. So if you back out, I'll just have to drive more and make more.
So I mean, the B is should be a much better product. It's a good thing. You and I are in this for the long haul. If you're in crypto and you have a short-term view, you're playing the short game, you're going to be disappointed daily, let alone minute to minute, with these projects and tokens and stuff like that. Because like we've talked about, the transparency, that's one of the beautiful things about Web3 and crypto, is the transparency. The bad part is you also know everything.
Right. And that's what I'm hoping for. I've been in the projects that shoot up and shoot down and never do anything ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason I'm okay with waiting on this one is because I feel like they're not just kowtowing to what everybody in the group wants. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll make this coin this much, or we'll burn this much. It's like, here's the vision for the company. And it pays out in this token. Whatever the token does, whatever. Here's the vision for the company. We're not bringing out a Hivemapper B that some people are paying upwards of $500, almost $600. We're not going to release an inferior product, because this is the one that hopefully should last for a while. Like these HTCs, the ones I've gotten some within the last couple months, then it's like you already know that it's an inferior product. Yeah, and it's temporary. So the B, I hope, paying $500 a piece, I'm getting 10 of them. That's $5,000. They better not tell me, well, we'll update next year and it'll be much better. You know what I mean? Go ahead and take the time and make a good one right now.
At least that's how they're pitching it. And we're looking at it from the consumer side. We don't even consider so much the commercial side that people are selling to. Like it's in their best interest to get the bees out, so that it's bringing in these photos and stuff. So these companies, these big companies and industries can start buying the photos. So it's in their best interest to get them out also, but it's also very much in the best interest to put out a quality product, so that the pictures it's producing is quality, which just means more people are going to want to buy the product.
And that's what I have to just keep telling myself about all of it is, we don't know. I personally don't know what it's like bringing in hundreds of thousands of people's images every week and then trying to sell that data. You know what I mean? Like you can imagine the different types of windshields, the different types of setups, the different types of this. And it's like, and you got to sell one uniform product out to mapping companies and, driving companies, stuff like that. And it's like, so they have way more data than you or I have access to. And if they say, actually, we need to change this, to me, it's a bummer. Oh, we're waiting again. It's like everything on this project has been delayed. But I don't want to be in charge of all that. You let me know when it's ready and I'll drive,
Yeah. Well, like you said, they're still active on Twitter. At least, you know, they're being active. So it's not like they're necessarily hiding. It's just,
When
I mean, these things take time, right?
Yeah, and
We knew.
that's what I keep thinking is when the token ran up in October, November, December, and times were good and the coin was 25, 30 cents, 35 cents. I was buying into a lot of projects because everything was just hot. You know what I mean? It's like, so all these projects that promised the world, I bought in several hundred to close to 1,000 on some of them. And most of those projects have all but zeroed out again. And it's one project, one big project, not even just like a meme token, not the Hawk Tua coin, one big project that I got a hold of that had Twitter, that had a website, that had everything. I put almost $3,000 into it, and it's worth about $250 right now. And it's like, that's dumb. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, look at it. Really dig into the company, and it's dumb. There's no product, there's no this. It was a community coin, you know. It was, hey, we're all in this together, and I fell for it again. You know what I mean? But Hivemapper, it's like look at it, look at the stuff that they're doing, look at the website, look at their Twitter. You know, even when their coin's going up and down with the rest of the market, there's actually stuff happening. It's a functioning company that you get to be a part of for a very minimal. If you have one camera, that is a minimal investment. If you thought about buying $400 or $500 worth of any other token and it struggled, you'd be like, yeah, that's crypto.
Yeah.
But this, you get to buy some hardware, you get to participate, you're getting paid every week if you're using it, you know. So
that's a valid point. Yeah, that's a valid point.
I like it.
People drop $500 all the time on crypto, you know, some random coin, and
How's your cut, G?
Backstory.
and don't think
$500 worth of Hawk Tua. So the Hawk Tua coin on Solana, yeah, and it's worth about $80 now. So it happens. I make a lot of bad investments, and what I like, that's why I'm so happy with Hivemapper, because yeah, it's going up and down, but there's a product there. There's real value there. There's real data there, and it's not just, you know, fly by night. It only goes up whenever Hawk Tua girl makes it on TV.
makes an appearance.
You know, so.